welcome back to Brooks Nook, Always Learning. Today we're going to go through history curriculum for second grade with Chandler and literature and a little bit of his geography. If you want to learn more about homeschooling, field trips, travel sports, our way of making a home, and our eventful life, please subscribe to Brooks Nook so that you can get the latest and greatest of our homeschooling experience. So if you can, please, in the comments, leave me your favorite history curriculum for the grammar stage, 1st through 4th grade. What has really worked for your family? Okay, so we just finished reading The Story of the World by Susan Wise Bauer, and we read the story of Beowulf. And I actually got him an easier version of Beowulf. That's a coloring book that he is probably still gonna read. I didn't realize it was actually in the Story of the World, and it was suggested to get the coloring book. It was just one of the many things you could get. It doesn't say you have to get this or anything, but it was suggested in The Well-Trained Mind. So I didn't realize it was actually in this reading, and I have to say that I love having the read aloud, the CD of this, and it is read by Jim Weiss, and he does an excellent job. And it is a really good reading and so easy to follow. And so I actually did have to go out and buy a CD player and it was hard to find, but I had to do that last year with some of the curriculum that I got from my father's world. So we have a CD player, and I think that is a really good way to train your child to track and keep up with the reading and keep a good pace. Chandler does a lot of reading aloud. He reads literature aloud. He'll read the Usborne history book to me in a minute aloud. And so it's nice to kind of have a break, and it also gives him practice following along reading, which is another skill involved in reading out loud that I think is very important for his future in reading and comprehension. So after we did that, we flipped over to the activity book. And so after he finishes each section, we come over to the review questions, and I asked him all of the review questions. So we did the Beowulf exercise, Beowulf the hero, and we did all the review questions, which he did excellent. And then we did the narration exercise, and he told me what the story was about. And he has improved so much from the beginning when we first started doing this. It is amazing how practice really does make perfect. Every day, just doing a little bit relaxed, easygoing practice. And oh my goodness, has he improved so much. And I think that is such a great skill to have, not only just in studying in school later on in college and graduate school, but standardized tests, here they come again. Standardized tests do take in a lot of that comprehension skill, and it is an extremely important skill to have. So after we did that, we looked at the tests and questions booklet, which I've said in another video that I think it was the curriculum unboxing. We are not actually taking them as tests. I'm orally asking him the questions at the end of the chapter so that we can recap right now. Next year, we might ease into some tests in 3rd grade, but in 2nd grade, we're just keeping it easy, keeping it light. He does great with these, and I think it really helps solidify the information in his brain and helps him to remember what's going on. So we also have the Usborne book, which Chandler is looking at right now silently, but I do like to flip ahead and see what's coming next. So I see that it's Christianity comes to Britain and Augustine comes to England. So we've already started reading. His literature coincides with the history, and that's how it's designed in this curriculum so that it complements one another and he recognizes it from different sources. So he's reading St. Augustine of Hippo as his literature, and then I also like to look and see for our geography, which is on the computer, kind of what map we need to be looking at and what exercises we need to be doing with that map curriculum, as well as what we should look up in topics that are relevant in the years that are relevant in the Usborne World History book. So we are going to let Chandler read aloud out of that and do maybe a little bit more narration, and then move on to geography.
You can find out what was happening all over the world from around 500 to around 1500. This time in history is known as the medieval period or the Middle Ages. In many parts of the medieval world, people wrote things down in handwriting books called handwritten books.
So, as I've said before, we love the Usborne World History book. It has wonderful pictures that complement exactly what Chandler is reading in the story of the world, medieval history, and we can easily find the dates that are applicable, and he can see firsthand the artifacts in the gorgeous pictures. Oh, you actually have a picture. Very good.
It's right here.
Right there?
Yeah.
Very good, Chandler. Okay, so here I am just pulling up his maps and getting him ready to go over his maps again. At this point, since it's kind of early in the history curriculum, he is still just writing down where the 7 continents are and where the oceans are and practicing that on a pretty regular basis. And then here I am pulling out his St. Augustine of Hippo so that he can actually go ahead and read that for the day. This is his literature that is going on with the history curriculum.
Administer against his will. The believers in Africa liked Augustine very much because of his writings, especially